Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is NURSYAHIRAH YASMIN, binti MUHAMAD JAINUDIN. My contact number is 262-461. Fraser and Nev Holdings Berhad is a Sharia compliant company that has entered Bursa Malaysia with profit for 4 billion. So it's a brand new company that sells food and beverage product. FNN is successfully expanded to neighbor countries such as Thailand, Brunei, Indonesia, and Indochina country. Currently, FNN is having 2.6 thousand of manpower and backbone. For our vision, we want to be a leading, big and superior company in Malaysia that manufacture food and beverage product. For our mission, we want to give back to our shareholder that the best return, and we want also to to fulfill and give the best to our customer who always support us since forever. We also want to give employment to locals because we want to support the economy of Malaysia.
Good morning to our lecturer and my fellow students. I am Chang Yong and I will present about product decision, product specification, and price decision. In product decision, nowadays more people concerned about health. They involve themselves in sport. Market demand of sports drink also increased. More people choose isotonic drink. 100 plus as an isotonic drink. It is caffeine-free and quenches. It has a lot of benefits which are restore what body has lost during physical exertion. It rehydrates body to optimal hydration balance, and it has quick and efficient absorption into body. Therefore, we choose 100 plus for our product. These are our product, and we will export 8 types of product to Japan. Most of our products are not suitable for children and consumers with diseases such as high blood pressure, obesity, and high cholesterol. This is because our product contain an amount of sugar and an amount of carbohydrate. Except for 100 plus 0, it contains 0 sugar and 0 carbohydrate, so it's suitable for all categories of consumer. We have used 5 basic factors to decide our price, which is cost. We have set a price floor and we will set a fair cost for our product. In Japan, customers emphasize on price, but they are more emphasized for value over price. Competition, there we have competitors such as Coca-Cola and Pepsi, therefore we will set a competitive price for our product. In Japan, 10% standard tax rate or 8% reduced tax rate will impose on all goods imported and manufactured. General company policy and marketing mix, we will use 7P to promote our product, and we will try to build a healthy and fresh image for our product to attract more consumers. So this is our price list. You can take a look at it. That's all from me. Thank you.
Japan is an island nation consisting of 4 main islands. The 70% of the nation is covered in mountains and forests. However, it is still easily accessible because of a large number of ports and waterways available. The most important region in Japan is the Kanto region, generating 40% of the economic power in Japan. The second one is the Kansai region, generating 16% of Japan's GDP. And the third one is the Chubu region. Shipping is the most common used form of transport in Japan because of its status being an island country. The shipping time takes about 5 to 7 weeks, and the shipping costs are low, which is ideal for our products. Once our goods arrive in Japan, there are trains and routes transport available to continue deliver goods to market. The 12% of e-commerce market in Japan is from food and beverages. It is also listed as the 4th biggest e-commerce market in 2019. The Japanese consumers are novelty seeking, which means that the search for innovation, new products, new experience are highly regarded. Secondly, there are also relative price sensitivity. The Japanese consumers now also have interest in international products. The first retail channel in Japan is the supermarkets, which sell products in a higher price range. The second one is the convenience store. It is prevalent, available in multiple sizes in town and rural areas. The third one is the department store. It sells good for imported brand but is limited in quantities, and many of them are technical products. The first method in market selection procedure is the expensive method. It is choosing the country that share the most similarities with the home country. The second method is a contractible method. It is a broad research approach. My team will choosing the contractible method.
Now I will talk about the legal and political forces. The first of our taxes is the corporation taxes. This tax is usually estimated at a rate of 30% of all earnings. For small businesses capitalized at or below 100 million yen, the first 8 million yen of income is taxed at a rate of 32%. Next, I would like to talk about the relevant laws and institution regulation. The firstly is the Food Sanitation Act. This act is to prevent the sanitation hazards resulting from intake and drinking by applying the regulations. From the point of view of public health, to ensure food and beverages safety and thus to protect the good health of the Japanese citizens. If the ingredients of 100 plus already exceed the limit which set by the Japanese government, then our beverages will not be imported to the Japanese market. The next act is the Customs Act. This act requires for the proper administration of customs procedures for the determination, charge, receipt, and refund of customs duties, and for the exportation and importation of goods. This means that we must allow the customs office to inspect our beverages first, then we only can enter the Japanese market. The next factor in the country screening is the social cultural forces. After our research, we can find that everyone in the Japanese beverages market like to drink beverages, especially which is in the lemon flavor. The Japanese do not think only that cultural sweat as a sports drink, but they also use it to help those who are sick. For our 100 plus in Malaysia, we also believe that the 100 plus can cure a sore throat. The next factor is the competitive forces. We can find there 5 big companies in the Japanese beverages market. The most popular soft drink in Japan is Coca-Cola, and the second one is Suntory Manufacturer, which is producing the CC Lemon, and the third is Asahi Group Holdings, and it's produce both beverages, which is non-alcoholic and alcoholic. We're going to choose the proactive approach in this exporting of 100 plus to the Japanese market. Enables marketing to be agile, in real-time data-driven, and adaptable to the event-changing space of what the consumers may be looking for. If we found that there are some failure in the future, then we can make our corrective stages immediately.
The first method in market selection procedure is the expensive method. It is choosing the country that share the most similarities with the home country. The second method is a contractible method. It is a broad research approach. My team will choosing the contractible method. So the reason we are choosing the contractible method is because our business will expand faster, and we will conduct an in-depth screening to find the very best market suitable for our products. The first step is the country's ranking. This is to eliminate the high risk and or low chance country that does not meet our expectation. The second step is the preliminary screening. This is to eliminate the least performing markets in Japan. The third step is determining the specific factors such as the sales potential, profit margins, or the internal resources. So basically, the emphasis will be on our business knowledge instead of external factors.
The strategy that we're going to use is spreading strategy. Because it has faster growth rate in the markets served at the early stage of expansion. It reduces the risk of concentration resources as we are spreading the resources to many markets instead of few. There is no huge loss and can gain profit in successful market. Sometimes the profit that we gain in successful market can cover the loss from the unsuccessful market.
There are 2 types of export. The first one is indirect, the second one is direct. The indirect export is to sell our goods to an intermediary. The direct export is to export our goods direct to the international markets. So there are a few reasons why we are choosing direct export as our means of exporting. The first one is because we can expand our market share and maximize our profit. The second one is to providing us the full control over how our products are being positioned and sold in Japan. There are a few advantages in choosing direct export. The first one is reduce risk. The second one is to build good relationship with our new customer. However, there are also a few disadvantages. The first one is the high expense of setting up and exporting department in Japan. The second one is that it is expensive for business that lack labor forces.
As for export entry mode, we have choose the direct export as our strategy on doing business in Japan. I want to explain you about the export entry mode. Export entry mode is a structural agreement that allows a firm to do a business in a host country. In simple terms, it can be said as a agreement that allows F&N to do a business in Japan by electing others to manage the franchise there. In direct export, there are 5 strategies that we will use, which is firstly is home country based department. Next one is foreign sales branch, warehouse and facility, a foreign sales subsidiary. Last but not least, we have foreign based distributor and agent.
So now I will proceed with the promotion and marketing communication. F&N marketing plan for the first 6 months is focused to increasing awareness of product to Japanese by advertising and giving sampling. Advertising at any social media can deliver all the message about 100 plus to the Japanese customer, and giving sample can letting them to taste 100 plus, and if they like it, they will repeat order. After that, F&N will starting to create preference of product to the Japanese customer. Advertising can make people differ it from the other energy drinks. Personal sellers can get review from customer immediately. Word of mouth marketing will done when events are launched for them to share their experience or review. After that, F&N will build brand and product loyalty by deliver what they are promised to the customer, and then to get feedback and modify it by direct email marketing. Direct email marketing also can tell the customer about what promotion was F&N running now. After that, public relation and publicity can make the message about 100 plus more credible because they was writing by. After that, F&N was trying to understand targeted customer. For example, 100 plus 0 was designed for the targeted customer, which was conscious of their body health. Then F&N also filter educate customer by creating commercial advertisement which involving nutrition and training tips. Thank you.
Hello guys, my name is YASMIN. My matrix number is 269629. Now we will talk about the export financing. There are 6 of export financing. The first one is the letter of credit. Letter of credit is a letter from a bank guaranteeing that a buyer payment to the seller will be received on time and correct amount. For example, bank in Japan on behalf of the importer provide F&N company to pay the credit document like bill of landing, insurance, certificate of origin when they upload the 100 plus and send to Japan. The second one is the prepayment. The payment of a bill, operating expense and non-operating expense that settle an account before it becomes due. For example, the buyer from Japan must pay all the shipping payment to the F&N company before the company ship all the 100 plus to the buyer. After the Japan buyer pay full payment, the 100 plus will belong to the buyer. And the third one is the bill of exchange. Bill of exchange is a written order used primarily in international trade that binds one party to pay a fixed sum of money to another party on demand or at predetermined date. For example, F&N company find third-party logistics like DHL to send the 100 plus to Japan. Before the 100 plus sent to the buyer must give the draft first and pay the money to the DHL. After that, the DHL will take the money from the bank and give to F&N company. And the number 4 is the open account. Open account is a sales where the goods are shipped and delivered before payment is due. For example, F&N company will export the 100 plus to the Japan buyer. After the buyer receives 100 plus, the Japan buyer will transfer money to the F&N company. And number 5 is counter trade. Reciprocal form of international trade in which goods or services are exchanged for other goods or services rather than for hard currency. For example, F&N export 100 plus to the Japan buyer, and the buyer will export the beans to F&N company to produce soya bean without money direct exchange. And the last one is consignment. Consignment is an arrangement in which goods are left in the possession of an authorized third party to sell. For example, Japan buyer will import the 100 plus from F&N company and sell to the third party like big supermarket in Japan. After buyer sell to the third party, the money will be collected and give to the F&N company. That's for me. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Jim Long, and I'm going to present about the export budgeting for our group. So what is the meaning of export budgeting? Budgeting is a process of planning to spend our money. It's very important because it can help us to make sure that we always have enough money to spend for the things that we need. Export budget can help us to make sure that our expense won't be able over than our profit, to prevent the loss in the future when we start to export our product to another country. Okay, next, so here's the export budget that we have prepared for the year of 2021, 2022, and also 2023. So before we start to prepare the export budget, we also take a look from the annual report of the F&N company. Okay, so for the income category, we only got revenue from our sales. And in the year of 2021, we expect that the revenue from sales is only 3% in the year of 2019. So what we get is $60 million in the year of 2021, and we also expect that we will increase to 20% in the next 2 years. So on the expenses part, there is a lot of element, which is cost of goods sold, financing costs, export tax, and also operating expenses. And in the operating expenses, we have divided it into distribution, marketing, and also administration. So after that, we need to sum up all the expenses and we get a total amount of expense. Then we need to use revenue from sales to cut it. After that, we can get the profit of the year. And after we calculated the profit, don't forget that we also got the corporate tax that we need to pay to government. So we also need to use the profit that we gain to minus the taxation costs. Then finally, we can get our balance in every year. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Good day everyone, my name is BINTI and my metric number is 269909, and I will present the export process and procedure part. Okay, in export activities, the exporter must have knowledge about the procedure in export because this will help the exported goods arrive in time. So there are a list of processes that need to comply by the company. The first step is the buyer makes inquiry from potential supplier. And the second step is the buyer requests a quotation from the supplier to know whether the price is suitable or not, or if the price is not suitable, the buyer can negotiate with the supplier or even change another supplier. The third step is the supplier send a pro forma invoice to the buyer. So the pro forma invoice will be used to apply to his bank and for a letter of credit. So what is the letter of credit? Letter of credit is a document that from a bank that guarantees that the supplier will receive the buyer's payment on time. And the fourth step is a purchase order and the letter of credit will be sent to the supplier. So the bank will notify once the letter of credit are sent to the supplier. And the supplier can issue the instructions to the freight forwarder for shipping of goods. So the freight forwarder is an agent that forward the shipment on behalf of shipper. Next step is the freight forwarder will reserve space with an ocean or aircraft carrier. So they reserve space to avoid shortage of shipping space and to ensure the shipping goods are arrived on time. The next step is the freight forwarder prepares and submits a bill of lading to the courier, and they also transmit a request for transport instruction to the selected inland courier. So usually the chosen inland courier is a trucking company, as this is the most efficient mode of transport. The next step is the inland courier will pick up the cargo and issue a cargo receipt to the shipper. Then the cargo will be delivered to the outbound port terminal, and the outbound port terminal will give a signed copy of the dock receipt to the inland courier. The dock receipt is a proof of delivery of the cargo to the courier that in the good condition. So the ocean courier's office will start to prepare a loading storage plan for the outbound port terminal. And then the outbound courier office will ask for payment from the freight forwarder. And the next step is the shipper have to submit a full set of the documents to the bank. For example, like bill of lading, commercial invoice with the packing list, and certificate of origin and another important documents will be sent to the bank. And the bank will review all the documents carefully and pays the shipper according with the letter of credit. And then the importer forwarding agents will submit to the local customs office the proper import declaration for the clearance. And lastly, the cargo is delivered to the importer, and the importer will sign on the consignment note as a proof of receipt the goods. Thank you.
Good morning, doctor. My name is Teng. I will give a presentation on export risks that our company might face. Firstly, is the exchange rate. Exchange rate of the country is unpredictable because of political and economic change. For example, a rise of exchange rate volatility will become a risk and loss to our company because we need to decrease our quantity product. And another example, when the rise of exchange rate, after we sign the contract with Japan company, it also become a huge loss to our company. Risk investigation of logistic management. It also appears some problem when the logistic department ship our product to Japan. The back of packaging of our product, and they maybe will throw our product when they handle the storage. If logistic department late of shipping of our product in the specific date, we will breach the contract with the Japan company. Enforcing a contract takes 360 days and costs 32.2% of the claim. They include many procedures involved and take long time to wait the approval. The time required to enforce a contract through the local government and Japan government takes long time to obtain the judgment. English not a main language for Japanese culture. For Japanese culture, English not necessary to speak in Japan. It will become a problem when we need to explain the ingredient and effect of our product. So we need to learn some knowledge and omnipotent word of Japan to prevent miscommunication.